Hey guys, John here. Today on the show, I have someone by the name of Lee Martin. He's actually on the show today to talk about a forum that he's created and CPA marketing. It's called CPA Elites. Welcome to the show, Lee.
Hi there. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. So, do you want to talk a little bit about how you got started in internet marketing? You know, how you got started with
Yeah,
this forum?
yeah, sure. I mean, if we're talking about the forum primarily, the forum's based on CPA, which is cost per action. So it's CPA marketing. The way it works is that you've got networks that pretty much have the offers for, the likes of McDonald's and even bigger, and they've got an offer. And what they will do is they will recruit affiliates to the networks who will then in turn promote those offers and get paid by the network. Going back about a year ago, when I first started up CPA Elites, I kind of did it because I realized that there wasn't any other standalone forums primarily focused on literally in CPA marketing, incentive marketing, that is. So I decided to open up the forum and pretty much see how it went. And it's kind of gone from, strength to strength really, because it's now got 31,396 members, and, which isn't
Wow.
bad for a year, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the trick for me really is because I realised that I was going to have the original, like I say, standalone incentive CPA marketing forum. I knew I could incorporate the non-incentive with the incentive, but I had the upper hand because obviously it was the first incentive one. So I contacted the biggest networks such as AdWork Media, CPA Grip, AgSend Media, etc. CPA Lead, and what I did was I pretty much come up with a really good idea, which kind of like made CPA Leads what it is, and I offered them a free private group on the forum in exchange that they direct link back to CPA Elites to their actual group. So for them, it was like a win-win situation because I'm getting their traffic, but they're getting mine, right? And it's kind of like I'm teaching the guys that they're sending to me. I'm teaching them how to make their money. So it's a win-win situation. So we exchange traffic, and yeah, since then it's just been going strong. It's getting thousands of new users on a monthly basis. The content's great. Traffic diversity, I'm pretty good at. I can, generate traffic from different verticals, and it's just really exploding.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I know, I guess from looking around, I mean, I know there's other internet marketing forums. Like, I'm sure I could
yeah.
go to, like, the popular Warrior forum and
Well,
find
this
stuff
is
on
it. Yeah.
CPA
I mean, you've
marketing.
got a lot of these guys that, I mean, those kind of forums there have got bigger scopes. They're a bit broader. So
Yeah,
obviously they've got, primarily like internet marketing as the main subject, and then they stick in the sub forums. I mean, there are. I think there's like one or two other CPA marketing forums out there. I knew of one of them when I started up CPA Elite, but I knew that it at the time was primarily focused on non-incentive, which is why I saw a gap and I jumped on it, which basically gives me the bragging rights, to kind of say, well, look, we are the original CPA marketing forum in relation to incentive, but at the same time, yeah, we offer the non-incentive scope as well because. Well, I mean, to give you an example, like one or two of the networks that advertise with us or direct link back to us, their traffic is like non-incentive. And I realized at the time that, I need to sort of like focus on that as well. So what I did was I actually made, if you look, you can see the Elites Network Compliant Discussion section, meaning pretty much everything inside there is kind of like not all non-incentive, but mostly non-incentive, and it's compliant with the networks that would rather you didn't drive the incentive traffic.
right. Yeah, I see you have like a
Yeah.
whole private subsection here with VIP
Yeah.
access.
Oh, yeah, and VIP access. Yeah, I mean, that's done pretty well. It's become really popular. I pretty much add a lot of my own private guides in there, which is found in the actual Legends kept secrets. But what I do as well, I made an award, and basically it enables the users to add content in there. In exchange, they get an award added to their profiles for it, which is like a unique award. I mean, we got, on the forum itself, we have a bunch of unique awards, all custom made. I hired out a graphics guy that I've got working for me. So they're all custom, etc. So I don't know how to copy.
Right, right. Yeah, it sounds like you got quite the setup here. I really like the layout and everything.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it gets like a bit of slack sometimes, because it's black and stuff like that. I mean, I have heard people say sometimes, "Hey, what is it? Is it a hacking forum?" And I'm like, "Well, no, if it's anything but. It only takes 30 seconds to actually take a look at it to realise what it's all about, anyway." It is what it is, right? I mean, it's a private run company. I decided to turn it into a private limited company last year.
Yep.
Because I figured that it's going to give it more power behind the punch. If I need it and stuff like that. And I think it's probably the smartest move that I ever did, to be honest with you, was turn it into a company.
Yeah, that's something I actually recently ventured into. I've been I was making a little bit of money with a SEO service on the side, and I figured mostly for tax purposes, it would have been better to turn it into a LLC.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got my own accountant as well, who's just up the road from me. So if I get any sort of problems or anything like that, he deals with them. But he also deals with like all my end of year taxes. But I kind of deal with most of my monthly taxes between myself and the partner as well. So that gets dealt with. But it's always good to have that bit of power behind you as well. In regards to any issues or discrepancies that you sort of can turn around, it just helps out in the long run, right? But
Sure.
But the forum itself, I mean, it's doing really well. I've made it very unique because, I mean, if you go down on the forum, you'll see that I've kind of it's original and it's unique in the way that I've added, like, you'll probably notice, like Elite's help desk or Elite's online journeys, Elite bragging. And these really do kind of make CPA Elites what they are, because the help desk is fantastic, because it does it you get a lot of people come to the forum that don't know diddly squat about CPA marketing, let alone making money online. We've got such a good community that like to help out all the other users, and I'm not just saying that because I'm on an interview with you. I mean, anyone that goes to the forum for 20 seconds can see that themselves. But yeah, it's just a really good speaking point of the forum, the fact that the community love to help out the community. It's not all about them, it's about them helping out other people that are new to the forum as well, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's tons of activity in just about any thread here. I noticed. Information being shared.
I mean, the content's great. I mean, statistics. I mean, put things into perspective. As of today, so let's have a look. We've got 261,866 posts. Threads. We've got 22,780. And yeah, the members again going back 31,398, and it's just growing. By the day, it just gets bigger and bigger. I mean, generally speaking, when you've had a forum around for about a year, they kind of slow down after a while in regards to content. But with CPA Elite, it's been anything but. It's kind of like, the older it gets, it's kind of like the bigger it gets in content and member base as well, which is just phenomenal, really.
Right.
So, yeah.
I guess I thought I'd ask too, just in general. I know we've been kind of talking about the forum,
go for it.
But just from the standpoint of CPA marketing, I've done a little bit with it, not enough to really earn any significant amount of money. I mean, I think at one point I was able to get somebody through a forum to like sign up through a lead page.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Obviously, there's a whole like world I know in terms of getting approved for these networks.
There's a big scope. I mean, I started out with the networks. Actually, I was actually a CPA marketer myself, using the networks a lot more so than I am now. And when I started out, generally speaking, I would go down the PPD, which is the paper download networks, because they're kind of like auto approve. And I started from the ground up. And I kind of worked my way up in those networks, and I went from earning like, I think it was like the least I earned in a day, I think, was $5 when I was starting out. And then I kind of grew in, I'd probably say, the space of about 6 to 8 months, and kind of people started knowing my name around the networks, and I kind of went up to, I think the most $7,000 or $8,000 I was making on the networks, like on a monthly basis, so going by my name kind of thing. Quite a lot of people know who I am in regards to being a top earner, or should we say a legendary earner.
Sure.
And I kind of progressed from the PPD networks over to CPA networks, because I knew that the offers sometimes could be better, pay out a bit more, etc. And yeah, just a bit more of a diversity, really, and a bit more of a wider range on what you can do and what you can't do and stuff like that. But CPA marketing's fantastic because, it enables you to work from home. It's really not as difficult as a lot of people think it is. You really can make a lot of money if you do it right. And that's kind of, I guess, where my forum comes into play, because you can learn it for free.
Right. I mean, obviously I know there's probably hundreds of ways you could read about making money. I mean, I'm just looking at the forum and I'm seeing people here talk about, making money with pay per download and Yahoo Answers, for example.
Yeah, there's, going back to the incentive and the non-incentive, just to clear things up. So, primarily CPA Elites is like focused on the sort of incentive traffic, meaning that if let's say like you write an ebook and somebody wants your ebook, okay?
Yep.
Basically, they have to fill out an offer to get your ebook, which is incentive. But non-incentive is kind of like, say, example, you're sending somebody to something. They can just literally access the offer, the content straight away. Because the problem is that some networks don't like incentive. Because, you've got like some networks that don't mind if you use, as an example, like a game sheet generator or some type of sort of application. Mm-hmm. And then the other networks do. So you got your kind of like your black hat incentive. Not all of it's black hat, and it's not black hat as in illegal. It's just black hat as in you're allowed to do certain things, as opposed to other networks that won't allow you.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like incentive, non-incentive. But they are completely far apart. It's like you could make a blog today, and you could basically on your blog, you could like offer sort of recipes for whatever diets and stuff like that, right?
Right.
And that's kind of like the white hat. Or you got your black hat. It could be like Microsoft code generator. That's completely the opposite, right? So that's kind of the difference. What you're looking at really between the incentive and the non-incentive.
So in terms of, I guess, I don't know if you'd mind sharing like anything specific, like just some general ways that you've been able to get, traffic to some of these networks.
To the forum, or just using the actual CPA marketing?
Well, I figure more for CPA. I mean, I know, like personally, I read through on the Warrior Forum. They have one of the private forums, the War Room, and I read through. Someone shared like a CPA marketing guide, and I went through it, and it was basically, they explain this method where, say, you go out on YouTube, you have somebody on Fiverr.
Yeah, that was probably my guide.
you create, you have some guy on Fiverr make a video for you that's really like, enticing people to sign up for some offer, maybe like a gift card of some kind or a free iPod.
YouTube at the moment is not as good as it was. I'll break it down. Basically, when I started using CPA marketing, what I would do is rank YouTube videos. I'm pretty advanced with like SEO software and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the GSA search engine ranker tool. Have you heard of that at all?
Yeah, I've used a
Yeah.
demo of it long ago.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty advanced with that. I know the best settings and stuff like that. So what I used to do was I used to just buy into a dedicated server with a good RAM and memory. I would use the capacitor breaker, which would solve the capacitors when you're actually going out and building the backlinks.
Sure.
Configure the settings on the tool correctly. And then what I would do is I would basically make a YouTube video, and then I would pretty much talk over it myself. And then whatever niche I've got on there, make it look decent enough, enticing, etc. And then what I used to do is I used to basically just build backlinks on top of the video. And going back about a year ago, I would be able to take a big niche, and I would be able to just rank up a video within about, I'm not joking, probably about a day or two.
Wow.
Because, what I used to build backlinks on top of backlinks, because, at the time that was what worked the most. But now, right now, it's like YouTube has changed a little bit. And in fact, if you used to go through my forum and check out the social media and or just search around, you'll see that a lot of people are sort of questioning whether, it's even worth it and stuff like that. I mean, I try and explain to them that it is. I mean, if you look in the private section, the VIP section of the forum, you've got a lot of guides that I've shared in there, which are going on about the YouTube ranking and stuff like that. I've pretty much given the best settings to use and stuff. So, sometimes you've got to think outside the box. Moving on from YouTube, you've got your SEO itself. But again, SEO, I mean, that's just changing. That's up and down. You got Facebook. Facebook's, become more difficult these days. But not impossible. The same as YouTube's not impossible either. It's just all about implementing good on-page and off-page SEO.
Yep.
But besides that, yeah, I mean those are kind of like the social media, the YouTube, like the SEO. They're kind of like the main ways of getting traffic with anything really.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I know I've read a lot about using fan pages and things like that to drive traffic to offers, and I've seen, I think I once was browsing and I liked, say, like a Mila Kunis Facebook fan page. It was just like, someone would post these photos of her, and then all of a sudden they throw